overthinking. Overthinking will kill so many different opportunities, relationships that you have in your life, because you go down this hole and you don't stop. You create so many different problems, scenarios in your head that may not even come true. And I know it's hard for a person to just stop overthinking. It's hard to tell somebody, hey, stop overthinking. Why are you overthinking? It's hard to tell a person that, but we can't keep creating problems in our head that may not even happen. We create all these false scenarios. We create things that don't even exist in our head because we don't know what's going to happen. We're stressed and we're anxious for the future. We feel like we need to control everything that's happening in our life. We feel like we need to control people. We feel like we need to control every outcome, every situation that happens within our own lives, and that causes so much overthinking in our life. But something that helps me with destroying overthinking, with killing overthinking, is to plan for the worst but hope for the best. A lot of the time when we overthink, we picture the worst case scenario, but we don't think that the best thing is the best thing. We have to hope and pray that the best case scenario happens. But when we overthink, we always create that, oh, what if they're out cheating on us? What if this happens with my job? What if this happens with my parents? What if this happens with my career? You overthink and you go down the most negative route possible. If we want to stop overthinking, if we want to become better at dealing with overthinking, we can't keep going down that worst case scenario. We can't have the worst case scenario mindset. A lot of overthinkers I know have that mindset, but we have to be prepared for it, but we have to hope for the best case scenario. We have to tell ourselves, and it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be an easy thing to change, an easy thing to adapt, to pivot to. It's going to be an intentional thing that you have to work on every single day. You tell yourself and you remind yourself, hey, what if the best happens? What if the best case scenario happens in my life? But you can't live in the world where everything goes right. You can't have that mindset of, oh, everything is going to go right, and you can't be all in the clouds. And you have to be realistic. You have to hope for the best, be prepared for the best, and you have to understand that the best isn't always going to happen. We always create these scenarios, these things that aren't going to happen. We create problems in our head with people in our life. We think they said something or meant something by the way they said something, but we didn't ask them, and now we're overthinking. We're like, oh, they said this, so they meant this, right? But you can't keep jumping to conclusions. A lot of us will jump to conclusions with people in our life, with situations and scenarios in our life. We don't see things for best case scenario. We don't see things at face value. And yes, it's a good thing to question what people say, but you can't keep jumping to conclusions and saying this is the way it is without any evidence, without any proof of it actually being true. You'll burn bridges, you'll sacrifice opportunities, relationships in your life because you overthink, because you think a situation isn't the way that it actually in reality is. You create all these scenarios, all these problems within your own head, and now you think that that's reality. He said something, she said something, and now they don't love me anymore. He said something that sat wrong with you. You just have to ask them. You ask that person, hey, what did you mean by this? Because in my head, this is the way that it came off. And the best thing to do with people in your life, with the relationships that you have in your life, is to communicate and to understand. We have to understand and communicate with the people that we love to stop this overthinking. In order to stop creating those problems, creating those situations in your head, you have to ask the person how it really is. But we can't get manipulated and we can't get lied to. So having that discernment of, is this person telling the truth? Is this person just dancing around trying to manipulate me, trying to gaslight me, right? Sometimes your overthinking is valid. Sometimes the thing that you thought it was is the way that it was, but you have to confirm it with that person. If you can't trust a person, then that person shouldn't be in your life in the first place. A lot of us will overthink situations that may never even happen, and that's a bad thing. That's an unhealthy thing, because we have all this unnecessary stress and all this unnecessary anxiety because of things that we think may happen. But something that has helped me is dealing with things as they come. If something happens, then I'll deal with it. If something happens, that's the worst case scenario. When I'm in that situation, when it's presented in front of me, then I'm going to deal with it. A lot of us will deal with and will be worried about problems that don't even exist. So just waiting for those problems when they do happen, because problems, trials, challenges will always happen in your life, regardless of where you are, regardless of who you are, the position in life that you are in. Problems, challenges, those things will always come at you in life, and you just have to deal with them as they come. Don't deal with things that never happen. Don't deal with things that are in the future. A lot of us will let it consume us. We're consumed by overthinking. We're consumed by this anxiety and these things that we create within ourselves. We create all these problems, all these fake scenarios in our head that aren't going to happen. A lot of the things that you overthink are just delusional, are just things that won't actually happen, aren't the reality that you're living in. So just being prepared for the worst, but hoping for the best. Preparing for things to happen in your life, being okay with dealing with those things. Once you deal with them, that's when you become better. If you keep lifting weights, you get stronger. So keep dealing with problems in your life, and then eventually you'll be better and better at dealing with them. Problems will always happen. Things will always happen in your life. You just get better and better at dealing with them. Don't deal with things that might not even happen. Don't deal with things that are just in your head. Stop creating problems in your head.